So I think we're recording, right? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So welcome everybody to the final student roundtable for the class of 2020. A lot of the seniors that you see with us here today have participated in our student roundtables here at Kennett High School. And we're excited to have this opportunity to talk to them today, to hear about their memories about Kennett High School, what they're going to miss the most. It's been a challenging year with the school closure, so we want to understand what they've learned as a result of the school being closed because of COVID, and maybe how they see things changing in education, and really just hear from the seniors. So along with me today to help host is Mr. Harvey. Mr. Harvey, if you could say hello.
Hi, Mr. Harvey, Athletic Director at the high school. Hi, Katie.
All right, so Mr. Harvey is going to help us MC the event, and we're going to get started just by going around and having each of our wonderful seniors introduce themselves.
Okay, hi, my name is Jilly Rowan, and obviously I'm a senior here at Kennett High.
And my name's Gemma, and I'm also a senior here. Sorry, Katie.
You're good. I'm Katie, also a senior.
I'm Olivia. I'm a senior at Kennett.
I'm Ellie, also a senior.
I'm David, senior at Kennett.
Hey, I'm James, also a senior.
Is that everybody? That's everybody?
Yeah.
So I think we've established we're all seniors here, so there's a common connection. All right, so let's jump right into it. Again, you've been part of the roundtable before. You've all made great contributions to our school. You've always had great feedback. But you know, one of the unique things about your class is that you seem very tight-knit. You get along well. What are some of the memories that are special to your class that stand out to you as, wow, that was really a great experience when you look back on it? If you guys could just share.
I can start. For one, I think something that was really memorable for our class especially was the football season this year. I think it really brought everyone together, just like having the student section and all that. As we had a really good season, and I think like just having everyone, like the community, all the students like behind the team, I think that was like a really good memory because that hasn't happened here in a while. So I think that's definitely something that we'll all remember as like our senior year.
And our win against Unionville in that football season. I don't think anyone's likely to forget that, and how banding against our rival all brought us together a ton.
Yeah. The football season, especially because it's the first thing that starts off the school year, they have a game before we have our first day of school. The fact that like we had such a great season this year, and Coach Frazier was just so forward in being that our entire school is a family and just kind of bringing everyone together, it was a really great start to the year.
Yeah, also this year we had the most attendance for homecoming, which was awesome for our senior year. It was great. I think people that maybe haven't even gone to homecoming in the past definitely came out for their senior year. So that was also something super fun, and it was a great way to start off senior year.
And I completely forgot all about that, but I remember there were so many people that we have to open the doors. We were letting you guys stand in the patio area.
Yeah,
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think along with that too, like I think like Spirit Week and Pep Rally, and like I got the opportunity to like plan that and set that up, which was like so cool. And I think just like seeing so many kids like participate, have a good time at the Pep Rally, and then so many kids attend homecoming, I thought that was really cool.
I thought homecoming week overall, just there were so many great events. I really loved our senior breakfast where we were out front and we all were getting our paint done together and getting pictures. And the day we all made like senior jeans and even colored our parking spots. Like that was a lot of new this year, kind of bringing back from what past classes had done. And I think we really like went for it all the way and had great memories with it.
I sent over an album worth of photos to you, Dr. Ritz.
I did get it. And what I'm going to try to do is afterwards, as you guys are talking about those things, maybe try to bring them up on the screen and see if I could edit them. But I appreciate you sharing those with me. Any other memories?
I mean, just prom in general. I know we didn't get one this year, but I think last year, like, if we were going to have one, I think that was a good one. And obviously, like, props to class office. They did a really good job, and I thought it was a good time.
Awesome. And Mr. Harvey is the athletic director. Just, I know that the football season was talked about a lot, and you have a unique perspective because you're the orchestrator of the whole thing. Any thoughts on the season from your perspective, AD?
Yeah, so for me, the football season is probably the most stressful time of my life. People, it's like planning a wedding. Like, really, people only notice if things go wrong. So I get very stressed because of the amount of people. So the winning season brought a lot of stress, but also brought a lot of joy because the fans that showed up was phenomenal. The 2 home playoff wins were phenomenal. The entertaining part was seeing all the upside down U's that showed up. Supposed to be a big secret. They showed up in school on Thursday and Friday, so I don't know how secretive that was, but it was all in good fun, so it was very enjoyable.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. All right. So, I mean, there's definitely, we couldn't fit every single memory into, this roundtable, but those are definitely some special times that you guys created and you were responsible for that. So that's a testament to your class. What are some of the things that you're going to miss about your class or about the school?
So this year I had a slight change in my schedule just of some of the classes that I was taking, that I for some of my classes, I left the bubble of people that was about maybe between 20 and 40 kids that I saw, and it was only them all day because of that. Those were the classes I was in. And I went into my 6th period physics class, and it was like a bunch of people that I hadn't seen since maybe like middle school or elementary school. And I just kind of hadn't really talked with them much over the past years, but it was like nothing had ever changed. It was like immediately I'm there with friends. It was no time had passed, and it was just such an easy transition. And I feel like that stands for most of the rest of our class, that even if we aren't the closest of friends, that we aren't people who talk every day, you could go up to almost all of us and it'd be like you aren't strangers, like you are friends, and we're all just like one cohesive family and we know each other.
Yeah, like piggybacking off of what Ellie said, like I feel like the sense of community that we have as a class is what really makes us special. Like there's no there is separate groups in that sense, but like everyone can pretty much go between groups. Everyone's friends with pretty much everyone, and there's no sense of people feeling excluded or people feeling that they're not part of like a certain group or whatever. And everyone's so welcoming and like able to just be able to include everybody, which is so nice.
Yeah,
And also going off.
You first.
Go, James.
So just going off of that, more than the sense of community, we're all genuinely supportive of each other. We're not really competitive. And I think that that's a big thing that we have that a bunch of other, schools and grades maybe don't.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna miss the little things, like running back to my car at 7:38 because I forgot my lanyard, and congregating in the hallways or sitting in the library, or just that little smile you give your friends when you walk past them in the hall, or a high five you give your teachers. And it's just the little things where you go to school every day that you don't always think about, but when you look back, you say, that's a part of my experience at Kennett High.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere in the building is just like, it's like unmatched. Like I think it's just like great. It's like walking in every morning and seeing like the principals out front, like smiling, waving, saying good morning, and then going to class and getting your day started. Like, I don't know, it's just little things, like Jilly said, little things like that are just definitely going to be missed.
But you guys won't miss the lanyards is what you're not going to miss.
They're kind of sticking to me. I kind of miss them. I'm not going to lie.
That was an interesting, kind of looking back on the year. I know the first couple weeks that was, especially in the roundtables, just talking about, this kind of came out of nowhere. And you guys are really good about giving feedback. I think there was a petition you guys put together, or some of your classmates did.
That was Ian.
Yeah. So, but kudos to you for organizing and, putting your thoughts and your feedback out there. So good stuff. How about, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about your teachers. Obviously, we have amazing teachers here in the building, like we have amazing students. And what better time than now at the end of your 4 years here at Kennett High School to you know, pay tribute to those teachers. So if we just can take a few moments to have each of you share, who was the teacher or staff member that had the greatest impact on you?
So I'll start. I feel like through my time at Kennett High School, I took a lot of the science and STEM classes. So it was always science teachers like Mr. Rep who were really like built my like passion for the different subjects. But Mr. Phillips was definitely the one that stuck with me the most. And I took a whole bunch of his classes. Some of them like digital electronics this year, I just took so I could have another one of his classes. And it's just, he's a teacher, but he's almost like a friend and a mentor too. He teaches us about life and not just how to get a 5 on the calculus test. And it feels like he knows us as people and not just students. And I feel like that's something really valuable that a lot of teachers do give to us, but Mr. Phillips was definitely that person for me.
I think for me, like one teacher that I really had like a lot of respect for was Mr. Bretnell. I myself, I'm like a science person as well, and like social studies and like language arts isn't really my thing. So like when I first stepped into his class, I wasn't really that sure about it. Like I wasn't really that interested, but like his presence and the way he taught the class really made it enjoyable. And I actually started to enjoy like the stuff he was teaching and started to pay attention more, which is really nice.
David, it's because it's always a great day for history.
Yeah, it's always a great day.
So for me, I follow the sentiments of David that I'm a more mathematic and science like related person, but Miss Wilson, who we started with in freshman year, and then you go through the next 2 years and you are waiting to get back into her class. Just the stuff that she teaches you just somehow always happens to always end up being about your life. Like she doesn't know what's happening exactly, but you're sitting in class and it's like, how does she know? But I feel like that's all the teachers, that they manage to teach you more about life, and they just kind of use whatever subject that they're teaching as the method to go through with it, that it becomes more than just here's some numbers on a paper, here's a book you need to read. It's here's how you get forward in life and how you use this and everything else that's going to come at you.
All right, I can go. I was going to talk about Ms. Wisniewski. I'm not, just being completely honest, not the biggest like school person in general. Like you guys were talking about your subjects, but I think honestly, she was my language arts teacher this year. And one thing that I really liked was that she put things in the curriculum that taught us more, like you guys said about your churches, about life and what I can use going further than just how to write a research paper or how to analyze this book. She put some things in, like the game of life, in a way at the end of the year, where she basically just went through and talked about like bills, cars, houses, like life insurance, like all that kind of stuff, to just try and teach us, get us prepared for next year, which is definitely something that I think a lot of people need, that they don't really know what to do or how to do. So I really like that. And I also wanted to mention Mr. Sokash. Sorry, Julie. He was very, I don't know, I liked how he put his class. He was very regimented, and I think he got kids to do the work they needed to do. Definitely pushed me to do better in his classes and get more done. So I was really appreciative of that.
Great.
For myself, I've always gravitated towards the liberal arts. So I like history, I like lit, writing, that's all my speed. And then I took econ, and I was like, I don't think I'll ever love economics. But then I think everyone's with me when I say Mr. Duffy is probably one of the most influential teachers that we've ever crossed paths with. And I'm so thankful to have had him. And it's not just like you're learning about how money works. It's just so much more than that. And again, he teaches you about life, and he teaches it in a very exquisite way. I don't think we've had many teachers that roll around the hallway with rulers or kick some doorknobs and stuff, but he gets it done, and he makes us excited to come to class every day. And I never thought I would take such a liking to a class like that, but I'm so glad I was able to spend the time I did with him, and I think every senior feels the same when I say that.
Yeah, for myself, Mrs. Hughes had a huge impact on my high school career. I had the privilege of having her as my junior class office advisor, and then again as my senior class office advisor. And she is just so much more than a teacher. She really cares about her students on a deeper personal level, and you can go to her for any issue you're having, whether it's related to chemistry or if it's just about life in general. And she is one teacher that cares so deeply about the school, and she has put on so many different proms and so many different homecomings, and she gets graduation together, and she is a huge asset to Kennett High School, and she is someone that I've just been so blessed to have in my life.
I think
Okay.
James.
Yep. So the teacher that I think probably influenced me the most was Herr Kotz. I had him for German for 4 years starting in 8th grade, and just more than German, he taught us about, being compassionate for each other, learning to laugh, learning to be confident in ourselves. And honestly, I feel like his impact on us as a group will probably, take us through college and maybe even the rest of our lives.
I also wanted to say that I think it's fantastic that we're all kind of struggling to pick just one teacher, because that just shows the immense impact every single educator's had on us at Kennett. And I think we could pick so many different teachers from each set, like science, math, history, lit. There's so many people for us and so many people that have had a strong impact on our school and career. And I think it's just so awesome that we can't narrow it down to just one person.
There are times whenever, how we come into classrooms a lot. There are times when I sit down and I'm watching, I'm like, man, I wish I was a student in this class. So I would have to agree with you. You guys very fortunate to have some great teachers, but the teachers at the same time are very fortunate to have such amazing students. So it goes both ways. So we everybody had a chance there to share, correct? All right. So let's kind of shift gears a little bit. Obviously, one of the things that is going to follow your class is that, you really had to persevere and work through significant adversity with the closure that came as a result of COVID. It obviously changed our routines. It changed the way we look at things. But, I'm interested, and I'm sure your classmates are interested, and the community that's going to watch this. How did it change you as a student? How did it change your experience with learning? And what is maybe the biggest lesson that you learned from this?
I think for me, I definitely learned to be more grateful and appreciative of the education that we're given. I think you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And especially with this happening at like the second half of our senior year, I think I can speak for everyone when I say we would give anything to be back and seeing our teachers every day and doing the normal senior things. And so it's made me more grateful because we really are given so much. And to have a school like Kennett that when you leave, it's something you miss so much is just so amazing. And we've all been very fortunate to have such a great school. And so for me, it's definitely made me more grateful, and I'm not going to take my education for granted anymore.
I would say props to Kenneth on this one, but it was such a drastic change to move to online learning that you didn't realize how in-depth and easily like it was for your teachers to be standing there and teaching you the stuff, and how involved you actually were in what you were learning, that when you became physically removed from all of that and you didn't necessarily get that in-person education, other stuff, and it was maybe here's some assignments to do this week, that everything that you were learning kind of just like changed. And especially just like in the way you're doing it, and the level of effectiveness just plummeted. But like on the reverse side, that when we're in school and that's what we're doing, it's great. And now we know that it's probably a little too late for some of us, but hopefully the rest of the classes beneath us recognize that when they come back next year.
Right. And I think, again, what Ellie's saying, it's that component of social learning. It is so pivotal to how we grow as students and how we're educated. And I don't think we all realize that until we have to sit in our beds with a computer in front of us instead of one of our favorite teachers. So, the ability to be in a classroom and be taught is just so crucial to our learning. And I know that this time away from school has definitely shown us our strengths and our weaknesses, and what we need to work on as we continue with COVID-19 and we're being forced to learn in a way that's not usual to us.
And
I
going
think
off what Jilly said. Oh, sorry, David. You can go.
I think moving on from this, like going into college and stuff, I feel like I'm definitely gonna have a greater appreciation for my teachers or professors, or just for any person that I might be learning from. I'm definitely gonna take full advantage of my education in whatever aspect it might be, in terms of like asking questions, just being fully engaged in what I'm learning. Cause like being here and like even doing this Zoom call or learning online, it feels like even though the material might be like the same in what we're learning, it seems like harder to get because like you're not having that face-to-face contact, and like it feels like the teacher's so far away and it's like hard to access the teacher and like how things might be set up. And I feel like moving on, I'm definitely gonna make an effort to be more engaged in my learning in that aspect.
Yeah, and I think definitely being at home, I've relearned how to like self-teach a little bit and like take charge of my own learning and really be productive in myself. And I've definitely, I'm sure everyone else has too, like learned I have a lot more willpower than I think I do, because it's hard to get up at 6 a.m. and like go to school, but I always just get it done. And it seems like at home I've definitely have to push myself a little more, but to have gotten through this year and gotten through like AP tests and feeling like I've still learned throughout this, I'm definitely proud of myself and happy that I've had like the resources through like Zoom calls and all my teachers that they've made accessible to us to make us still successful far away.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's again unprecedented what all of you had to experience, and you know the impact that it's had on the traditions and the different events that we typically do to celebrate the seniors. But you know that the one thing that I'd say is all of you have been so resilient through this process. So you know, you definitely set the example of what it means to push through challenges. So you know, you guys are a special group for sure. How about if you look back on how many of you have been in the district since day one? Most of you I think have been in the district. So let's switch it up a bit. If you could pick one word to describe your experience in Kennett, K to 12, or from whenever you started till now, what would that word be and why? I'll give you some thinking time. I could play some Jeopardy music in the background if
I think I have one, and I think it might be an easy way out, but I'm gonna defend it. My word would be family, because since day one, like there are people that I started kindergarten, that half day class at Greenwood with, that I'm still going through school with, and it's like I can't wait to go through graduation with them. And that's just like that group has only just grown, and I think then especially as we came up to the middle school and the high school and we had more teachers, like we got to see more, and it wasn't just you had one teacher and that's all you had. Like it really became more clear that everyone cares past just like who they see every day as well. And then especially when we got to the high school, like so many teachers opened their classrooms in their free time and other stuff, that they became like a second home in the school to be in. That it's like some kids are like, I can't wait to go to study hall because I don't have class, or that's what they do at lunch. And then there's others of us that's like they go off to the cages in the band room and that's where they spend their time. And there's a group of people that are like so close knit down there. There's like a massive group of kids, especially from our class, that just live in Mr. Phillips's room. And then like every other teacher, like if you ask, like they will open their doors to you. And it's just been a close family like we talked about earlier.
Honestly, like, I don't really know. I think like amazing could work. Like it's really basic, but I think at the same time, like going from like first grade to now, like senior year, like it's kind of crazy just to see like everyone that you've been with that's like stuck by your side, from like teachers to friends to administration. Like it's crazy. Like all the role models that I've had coming up, literally starting in New Garden, then the middle school and high school. It's just like, I don't know. It's pretty amazing though, because I think going off of like what Ellie said, like it's like one big family. That's, yeah. I wouldn't want to go to high school anywhere else. I think Kennett really, they did it really well.
I would say welcoming.
Oh, sorry. I
Oh,
would
God.
say welcoming because I mean, the transition from elementary school to middle school, it was so easy and so smooth, and you never felt out of place. Like you were always just like whatever grade you were going into, it's just every teacher, every administrator, they like wrapped their arms around you and they were just there to help you. I never once felt like I wasn't welcome or that nobody cared. Like this school is just so full of great people that want to help you, and every teacher seriously wants you to succeed, and you feel the love there at Kennett. And whether you're going from middle to high school or elementary to middle school, it's just you're so welcomed and you're so loved, and you just feel all of the support whatever grade you're in.
I think this is super similar to Olivia's, but I was going to say compassionate, because I feel like obviously K to 12, the whole point is to grow and to learn. Like that's what we're here for, our education. But I feel like the people I've encountered and the teachers I've encountered and administration and everyone, it's just everyone wants you to succeed and everyone puts in their all to help you do that. And on your good days and your bad days, there's always someone like in Kennett that's going to either reach out and make sure you're doing okay or someone you can go to. And I feel like there's always been a place and always been someone who cares. And that's really special.
Dr. Ritz, can I say a hashtag? We're going to
Sure.
hyphen it.
Go ahead.
I would say hashtag all in, but pretend that's not a word. We're going to hyphenate it. And I would just say that absolutely since the beginning, every person has given their heart and soul to Kennett, and we have really put our entire selves into the school, and we've gotten it back. You know, the teachers, administrators, staff members, every single person has given their all to make our high school experience so fantastic, and even our elementary and middle school experience. Every Kennett Consolidated School District member has given their absolute entirety to just make this a fantastic time in our lives, and the past 12 to 13 years have been absolutely fantastic, and we've just given our all.
I would say that maybe another word that you could use to describe Kennett would be collaborative. I feel like a lot of what we do has really been defined by what we can do as a group. And, you know, I really applaud the school for making everything really about teamwork and working together instead of, you know, competing against one another.
I think for me, like a lot of the words that you guys have already said I also like, and they would also work. And I'm trying to like think of something and I can't really, but like I really do like the sense of community and like how friendly everyone is. Like I came here, I wasn't really in elementary school. I came from a private school in 6th grade, and like I didn't really know anyone. And I was already like first period of like middle school, like everyone's trying to figure out their place and everything. I already was able to find friends. People were friendly to me. People invited me like to sit with them at lunch and stuff like that. And like how everyone is just so friendly to me. Someone who I just like came in, like didn't go to any like the elementary schools or like New Garden or anything like that. And just how like even throughout when new people come in, everyone's always open and like friendly to them as well. And I just really like that in our class.
Awesome. So we have, to recap, we have family, amazing, welcoming, compassionate, hashtag all in, collaborative, and community. I think those are some pretty strong descriptors for our school. All right, we got 2 more things on our agenda here, and then we're going to wrap this up. But I just want to, again, thank you guys for your contributions. They've been great so far. I can't wait to share this with the class and with your families. How about let's look on the lighthearted side. Can you recall any humorous, funny moments from your experience here at the high school? Something that stands out to you that just makes you laugh when you think of it, or a particular person?
I mean, I could start with one. This always gets me. I was talking about it the other day, but that one day that Emma Connolly set that bag of popcorn on fire really got me. That was you know, like when that happened and she just
Was that in Mr. Rep's room?
Yep, it was
Yeah.
her and Emma Schwartz. And they like walked away. I mean, I don't even know how you do it really, but we're all outside, the fire engines come up, like everything's there, and I just get a text from her, and I was like, oh man, like that's just classic Emma Connolly, if I have to say that.
That was a little scary that day. I was at a training, and I was coming back, and as I was pulling in, I saw all the students outside, and I was like, oh my, what happened? And then thankfully it was just a bag of popcorn, and nobody was harmed or hurt, and everything was okay. So, any
I
others?
think I'd have to bring it back to my entire just apes class that I had last year. We were probably one of the smaller ape class that Rep has had, but we went on I think it was our first canoeing trip to do the water testing, and 2 girls got off track and he went to try and go help them, and then everyone fell in. And like that pretty much summed up the vibe of our class. It was just like, it was fun chaos the entire time, but we did good.
I think we could talk about how when we were all going into prom, it was downpouring on us, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And there were so many like teachers running out with umbrellas to come get us, and it was such a funny day and such a good day, and it was just like, even with all that, we had a great time, and I love thinking about that.
Couldn't see anything out the windshield. I lost like 4 times trying to get there. It's like, oh god.
Yeah. I turned into some like tennis court. It was terrible.
Yeah, I think a funny moment going along with prom was Mr. Anthony on the balcony when he was dancing to the music. That was hilarious. Just to see all the teachers like dancing with us. It was so great.
I would have loved to have seen it. I didn't catch that, but I'm guessing that was pretty fun. So
this might be a little more niche, but anything that we did in Haircot's class, like I think any German kid would really understand that, you know, every day in Haircot's class was an adventure.
Definitely.
I can't even really pick one thing. Like, what would you think, Jilly or Olivia?
Oh gosh, I mean, every day was a new adventure. Like, one day he might be on top of a desk, one day he might be doing a class push-up on the floor. But every day we learned German, and it was just beyond funny, and I think that was such an engaging way for us to learn, because we would be laughing and smiling the entire class, and you know, when he left, like every single one of us cried. So that just shows how much fun we had in 4 years of high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Katz was a great teacher, and he's a great principal now too, but he was very funny, and I think he put a smile on all of his students' face every day. But I think Mr. Duffy does the same thing as well. I think we can all agree that Duffy is a funny guy, and if he didn't make you laugh at least once in class, I mean, he was so funny. He's full of jokes and good stories, so we definitely have had some good laughs here at Kennett.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys have a lot of memories that you're always going to carry with you, and it's been fun hearing about those today. And as we kind of wrap this thing up, the last thing that I want to ask is, you know, you're leaving here as graduates. You know, you made so many sacrifices. You dedicated yourself during your time here at the high school and your time in the district, and you've contributed a lot to the community that exists, to a lot of the honors that the school receives academically. What advice do you have for the underclassmen, the students in the middle schools, the students in the elementary schools, the K Center? What advice do you have for them, you know, as they start their journey to the high school, to eventually 12th grade, to where they're walking down the steps as graduates? So any final advice that you would give to them?
I can start. Honestly, I would just say, like, enjoy it while you have it. Like, the teachers, administration, like, staff, everyone at Kennett makes it, like, pretty much the best 4 years of your life so far. And I think that, like, take advantage of everything they give you, because it's really, like, the past 12 years were pretty great.
Yeah, I would agree with Katie, and I would just say here you have, without a doubt, all the tools necessary for success. So I would just take it and run with it, and take advantage of the prestigious school you go to and the classes you attend with these fantastic teachers. And just remember that there's no place like Kennett High, and here you are truly set up to go out and do fantastic things in the world. So just, you know, get involved and keep doing it every day, and you'll just have a great time here.
Yeah, going off of what Jilly said, if I could give one piece of advice to any incoming Kennett student, I would say to get involved. And I know that you hear that from a bunch of different people all the time throughout your life, but seriously, it's such a great way to meet people, and it helps you with time management, and you learn so many different things. I mean, whether it's a sport or a club or both, just getting involved. There's something here for everyone, regardless of what you're into. Kennett has it, and so getting involved is seriously just such a great thing you can do.
I agree exactly with what they've just said. Kennett builds you to be past just a statistic and a number. They build you to be a person. And especially, I think, looking forward, if you're either choosing to go directly out into the workforce or go to college after high school, COVID has made it so that they're not just looking at your SAT or your ACT or what your GPA was. They're waiving that for some schools now for the next couple of years. That they're gonna look for something substantial within you of like being your own individual and a person. And Kennett is such a fostering place for you to like start to figure that out and find things that you like to do, find things that you're passionate about, and they have almost everything for you to try and just see what you like.
And I think
Yeah.
going off of that, I'd just say, like, anyone just do your best and do what you love. And there isn't a wrong way to go. And I feel like Kennett there's always someone behind you. And if you need an extra push somewhere or you're not doing something quite right, like, someone's going to let you know. So don't really be afraid of like doing anything wrong or messing up, because you're going to learn a lot. And as long as you're having a good time and making those memories and finding things you care about, then you're going to get the most out of this experience.
Yeah, I think what makes Kennett so special is that the teachers aren't just here for like the paycheck or to teach. They're here for you, and you got to take full advantage of that in like every single aspect. And don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone, to seek the help of the teacher. Don't be afraid to like explore different things that you like in a class, or ask the teacher questions after the class, or just, like, don't be afraid to email a teacher. Like, the teachers are really here for you, and you should really take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I think it's really important that, everyone knows that the teachers are there for us. And more than that, as a really supportive environment, Kennett is probably the best place to take risks, to, do something that you're not certain that you're going to succeed at, because those experiences that we had at Kennett where we weren't certain that we were going to do well, those were probably some of the most important experiences we've had so far.
Great. Did everybody get a chance to share there? Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, I think that's a perfect natural ending spot. Again, thank you so much for taking your time out today to share this with us. And like I said, very excited to share this with your classmates and with the community, with your families. And, we invited a lot of people to the roundtable. Not everybody could make it, but I'm glad that all of you were here with us and shared. And you're going to go down in history, not only as the COVID class, but you got to participate in the final roundtable for the class of 2020. So, on behalf of all the principals and the teachers, we appreciate you. Good luck with everything. We'll be talking to you soon. So this isn't a goodbye, but great job today. And I'm going to stop the recording, so I'll chat with you once I stop it. All right. Just hit stop.